Thank you for coming to Sandra P's Gen Extra. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sandra P's Gen Extra. This is our Thankful Thursday. Let me make sure I am live. We're having Thankful Thursday. Thank everybody for stopping in to Sandra P's Gen Extra. I have my banner going, which is everything said on my video is alleged and in my own personal opinion. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And I'm going to put my comments up. And as people come in here, I'll be able to go into the comments. You all know I like to go down in the comments and answer any questions, also read comments that people have placed in there. Just have a few topics for today. And let me make sure I'm live and double check how it looks live. Okay, one second. I feel like I am live. Yes, I am. I have Linda Gamble. Good morning, Linda Gamble. How are you this morning? I hope you're doing well. And hello to anyone that's in the bushes yet. I hope they're doing well. I'm just going to have a few topics in here today. And yesterday, I didn't get to wear this t-shirt yesterday. This is new edition. Bobby Brown turned 56 years old yesterday. So Gen X is actually, we are growing all up together. And I'm happy for Bobby Brown that he lived to see 56. He's in great health. We get to see him this time, well, not this time next week, but Wednesday night, next Wednesday, we will be at the third residency in Las Vegas. So I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to it. Linda Gamble says she's doing good. I'm glad to hear it. So today I just have a few topics, and then also I'm going to just run by a few of the shows that I want to do. I like Amazing Race. It does have a lot of episodes, but it's on CBS, and also CBS will show that on Paramount. So if anybody's interested in that, I'm going to be doing Amazing Race. Ready to Love Philly. I know some of you are not watching any own productions, but Ready to Love is the dating show. I've been watching it since the first season with nephew Tommy as the host. Good morning, Sharon. Sharon Addison, thank you for stopping in. Just talking about Ready to Love. I'm actually going to review Ready to Love Philly. And I think we'll also, the panel of four that I'm on, Sassy TV from the 803, Tea Talk with Your Girl, Drop the Tea, and myself, Sandra P. Gen Extra. We have committed to each other to do Real Housewives of Atlanta when that starts. But we also do a few hot topics. So I'm not sure if we'll have shows that we catch up with as hot topics as well. I'm not sure. But I will be doing Ready to Love Philly. And let's see, I had some news that was related to one of the people that I follow because I review Married to Medicine. I'm on current season 11, Married to Medicine. And this young lady, we know who that is. That is Toya of Toya and Dr. Eugene fame on Married to Medicine. So Toya has great news. This was actually in Essence. Toya and her husband, Dr. Eugene Harris, have officially moved into their third home. Now, this was updated January 28th of 2025. That's actually my older sister's birthday. She's an Aquarius. Quite a few people, Aquariuses. Glam Rox had her birthday yesterday. I think she said her sister has a birthday today. So Aquarius season. But Toya and her husband, Dr. Eugene, have officially moved into their third home. And they announced the news on Instagram. But for now, they're keeping details about their new property under wraps. So people make fun of Toya for moving, but her and Eugene, actually, that's part of their business. They buy real estate. And Toya likes to fix it up. Toya has good taste. When they show Toya in her homes are beautiful. And in the past, that's been something that people have made fun of, like they were getting evicted. But we don't know anything about their business. I know there was a tax lien or something at one point, but that's not unlike any of the rest of them. You're going to have tax liens sometime. People have money. Sometimes they don't keep up with things. But it says fans will likely have to wait until Bravo's cameras catch up. Given the couple's history with real estate, we can expect the new home to be part of an ongoing storyline in future episodes. This is from the Jasmine brand. I'll show you if we can see that picture. That's Toya and Dr. Eugene showing off their new house. Good morning, Mahogany Meeks. Good morning to our little sis, Mahogany Meeks, one of the moderators. Mama V's. Good morning. Everybody's greeting everyone. So I was just talking about Toya and Eugene have purchased their third home. So that's good news for them. They and this article in essence actually brings up what I just did. It said after all this is a couple that's had their fair share of financial challenges, including past tax issues that made viewers question whether their frequent moves were the result of deeper struggles. The last time the couple packed up their belongings, it seemed the move came with a lot of questions. Why did they leave the second home? Was it financial pressure or simply another case of love for real estate? Toya isn't fazed by the chatter. For her, moving isn't just about acquiring new spaces, it's part of a larger vision. Oh, so she talked to the audience during BravoCon 2023. Her history with moving has been a consistent part of her life. I've probably lived in over 10 to 16 houses since I moved out of my mom's home, Toya explained, revealing how her constant relocation is simply her reality. I can't get comfortable. I'm one of those people. I'm watching that real estate and I'm watching that dollar. Toya's drive is unmistakable. Many might view her habit of moving as a sign of instability. Toya sees it as a strategic approach to wealth building. She has built and renovated multiple homes, and though she acknowledges the incredible dream house they've created, she isn't tied to any idea of one property. We built an amazing dream house, but I'm like, baby, we could build two more. For Toya, it's about the house itself and more about the opportunities it can provide, both financially and personally. Then they have an older picture of Dr. Eugene and the boys. I know that's older because Ashton just turned 15 and they look little there. And also the movie is little from Marsai Martin. So congratulations to them. Those that came in while I was reading that article, that is Dr. Eugene and Toya purchased a third home. We haven't seen it yet on this season of Married to Medicine, but it's an Essence article. They were speculating that they're actually going to showcase it on a future season. So sometimes we have to be careful about what these reality shows show us. And I know a lot of it is sometimes they put on for the camera because I remember one storyline, Anila and her husband, I forgot his name, he was a doctor as well. They were making fun of Toya for moving, but they didn't know anything about Toya's and Eugene's personal business and their finances. So that's good that Toya knows how to renovate. Her and Eugene work together to renovate houses and then they can move. So that is interesting. Good for Toya and Eugene. Everyone's saying good morning. Good morning, Sharon Gobble. Good morning. Sharon has come in and is speaking. Linda Gamble. Good morning. Chris Stephanie. Chris Stephanie came in and spoke to myself, the mods, and the chat. Good morning, everyone. We're just going over some quick topics. The first one was Dr. Eugene and Toya because I cover Married to Medicine, and they bought a third home. So good for them. That's really interesting. Okay. Oh, I just saw something that annoyed me. This is from the Jasmine brand. You know who this young man is, Travis Kelce. And then the Orange Clowns picture is up there as well on the Jasmine brand, y'all. Travis Kelce says Trump attending the Super Bowl is a great honor. For who? I don't know anything about that man being interested in football. He tried to invest in the NFL, and that group of billionaires didn't want him. They thought he was too tacky and trashy. So he invested in the XFL, which wasn't as professional. But now they're honored to have him there. So I understand that. Oh, and so people are making comments and they're pulling in Taylor Swift. Taylor, prepare the breakup song expeditiously. We know Taylor Swift like to make money doing that. Here's another comment. He can never be my man. The president was throwing shade at your girl and you think it's an honor? WTF? Eagles, y'all better do y'all job. Two black quarterbacks for, I think, the second time in the NFL. The Eagle quarterback, he has a beautiful fiance as well. I'm not rooting for Patrick Mahomes. I think his wife is an orange clown sycophant. She loves him. I'm going to read some more comments. More people came in. Everyone's speaking to everyone. Thank you so much. And those in the bushes, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in as well. And I'm going to share some more hot topics that I had. Okay, there was one about Glorilla. I just have to find it. It was good news for Glorilla, too. I didn't know Glorilla was so young. I know she was young, but I didn't know she was only 25 years old. Get Glorilla. She has a big tour also that she's doing. So Glorilla is now the face of Fenty. That's Rihanna's brand. She's becoming the brand's first ambassador across Fenty Beauty, Fenty Hair, Fenty Skin, and Savage X Fenty. So congratulations to Glorilla. We might see her become a billionaire. So she's the face. I wonder if she's invested in it. Rihanna likes to take younger people and bring them along with her. So congratulations to Glorilla. I think she's the cutest. 25 years old. She's working really hard. Okay, guys, this is what this is. Like motivated I talked about that. By that. Ready to love Philly. Today. What y'all think, y'all? I'm a Sagittarius. I like long walks in the park and holding hands and do other shit. Mama Beast. Sharon Garbo was speaking to Mama Beast. Sharon Garbo says 2 black quarterbacks. Really? Yeah, 2 black quarterbacks. Is anybody going to watch? I'm going to watch halftime. Kendrick Lamar is going to be at the halftime show, so we're going to see what he's going to do with that. He's an amazing performer. I love Kendrick. The whole rap beef, I love that as well. He wiped the floor up with Drake. Capricorn Flower came in. Good morning, Capricorn Flower. She's speaking to myself, Mahogany Meeks, Linda Gamble, and the entire chat. Good morning. So we're just talking about 2 black quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, and then I forgot the other Eagles quarterback name. Alexa, what's Philadelphia Eagles quarterback?
The quarterbacks for the Philadelphia Eagles are Jalen Hurts, Tanner McKee, Kenny Pickett, and Ian Book.
She gave me all of them. Alexa tries to be smart. I'm going to look him up. I saw a beautiful picture of him and also his fiance. Oh, he has 1.7 million followers. Let me get his picture so everyone would know what he looks like. You may already know what he looks like. He had a Time cover. Nice looking young man. And he is engaged to be married. I'm actually pulling for the Philadelphia Eagles. Only because I don't really care for the other team. Linda Gamble confirmed she's watching the halftime show. Oh, we have someone that has claimed the team. Sharon Gobble said the Philadelphia Eagles are her team. We're pulling for them. Uh-oh, Linda Gamble said go Chiefs. Okay, so we have a back and forth, everybody. I'm going for the Eagles, I guess. I want to find that. There was a beautiful picture of Jalen at a press conference, and he pulled up to the press conference. I think they had just lost a game or won a game or something. But he pulled up, and the jewelry that he had on was amazing. I'm not even a person that cares about bling and stuff like that. But when they showed that, he had this diamond glittering around his neck. It was gorgeous. He said, "That's what you came to see, huh?" This is it. Let me see. Well, this is just him. I want to show the one where he's sitting so you can actually see. Look at that. That's amazing. I wonder if he designed that. I can't see what it says. If it comes up, I'll show it, but I forgot to save it. But that should be a good game. Halftime show with Kendrick is going to be amazing. I already know that. Capricorn Flower, thank you so much. My smile is so beautiful. What toothpaste do you use? Sensodyne. And I have sensitive gums, so I use Sensodyne. They also have a whitening, but it's not as harsh. So I do love Sensodyne. Thank you so much, Capricorn Flower. I appreciate that. I was in braces for 2 years. I have a story time about that. My family, some of us have gaps, and I had a gap. My teeth were always pretty straight. I didn't like the gap, and I told my parents I wanted braces, and they're older parents. My mom was 40 when she had me. My father was 40 as well. They said, "You're cute. You're a nice looking girl. You don't need to do nothing with your teeth. You just got that little gap." Neither one of them had one, but I had one. They convinced me there's nothing wrong with it. So I went to the dentist on my own, and I told him I wanted to close my gap. He said he can't make any deals with minors, but since I had a job, he'll let me put $100 down and pay $50 a month. And he did. He put braces on. I wore it for about 18 months and closed my gap. So that was back in the day when people would do stuff you're not really supposed to do. Because I don't think he had me sign a contract, but I remember I had a job. I was paying $50 a month. It only took me like a year to pay him off. So that's the story of my straight teeth. Regina Phillips. Good morning, Regina Phillips. Regina Phillips is a world traveler, and I have traveled with her before. She's amazing, and she has great taste. Hello, Sandra Pease, Gen Extra, mods, and chat family. She's speaking to everyone. I was telling everybody that I'm going to review Ready to Love. That's an OWN product, so some of you are not fooling with OWN right now, or maybe again. Capricorn, you did what my daughter did. She closed her gap and cost her a lot of money. Yeah, Capricorn flower. When I was younger, at 16, I just didn't like it. But now I know it's something that's hereditary. It's when you go to certain countries in Africa, there are people that have that gap. So I didn't know enough about it. If I had to make the same decision, having straight teeth, having good teeth already, I don't know that I would have decided to close the gap. It wasn't really necessary, but it was something I wanted to do at the time. Well, now it's normal people getting those big old veneers. I think they look weird. They make your mouth look so big and your teeth look so chiclet white. It's like you can't even close your mouth. But that's the big thing people are doing now, veneers. Okay, I reported on Glorilla. Let me see, there is another one. Oh, this one, I'll do one political one because this one stuck with me yesterday. It said the FBI has turned over the names of 5,000 employees who investigated the January 6th U.S. Capitol riot to the Trump administration. The employees fear that it will lead to their termination. I think they're right. And also, the scary thing about that, turning those names over to the administration, they got a still picture of those people climbing the walls. They said they were just a peaceful visit to the Capitol. I never climb in. I've been up there. I never climb in when I go. But they said it was just a peaceful visit. So those people, they might retaliate against the people that were involved in the investigation. That's kind of scary. Carmen Wallace, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. And then Regina Phillips speaks to everybody. I'll just post her comment. Everybody, the new subscribers, I appreciate all my new subscribers. And I want to say good morning to everyone in the bushes as well. Oh, this one was funny. I had a funny story, y'all. Okay, look at this. You know what that is. Say what? Excuse me, my voice is getting scratchy. Thieves make off with 100,000 organic eggs in a bold Pennsylvania heist. I have found that I don't really love eggs all that much. I had waffles this morning, so I'll use eggs to make things with or to bake with, but just flat out eating eggs, I don't really do that much anymore, and they're really expensive. So it says, we know eggs are expensive right now, but sheesh. Authorities in Pennsylvania are investigating a shell-shocking crime, the theft of 100,000 organic eggs. The heist is valued at approximately $40,000, y'all. It took place Saturday night. The eggs were stolen from a distribution trailer outside Pete and Jerry's Organics in Greencastle, per ABC News. They had the news there, y'all. Philadelphia State Police or Pennsylvania State Police responded, but have yet to disclose any leads or how such a large-scale theft went unnoticed. It's an inside job, like any big theft. Meanwhile, bird flu or avian influenza has been sweeping across the U.S., driving up egg prices and leaving consumers scrambling to secure cartons. This person writing this story has a sense of humor. According to ABC News, the virus has been detected in dairy cows, wild birds, poultry, and even pet cats. I didn't know cats could get the bird flu. With egg prices already soaring, this bold theft only adds to the growing concerns in the market. Investigators are now working to crack the case. Come on, y'all. Working to crack the case and track down the missing eggs before they're whisked away like a whisk for good. That person has my sense of humor. It's corny. Carmen Wallace is at work in the bushes. Thank you so much, Carmen Wallace, for listening while you're in the bushes. This is a story I reported. That was silly about the eggs. I reported on this earlier in the week. I'm going to let a few of the pictures flash by. That's the real Roxanne. That's Roxanne Shante. Well, the real Roxanne was actually another rapper, but Roxanne Shante was the one that did Roxanne's Revenge, and she answered the original Roxanne. So she had an award at the Grammys. Okay, and then this is a story that kind of got on my nerves. Okay, in the story they show there's Jasmine Crockett and AOC, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, two of the youngest members of Congress. Sharon Gobble said the person had a sense of humor. They did. If you have a story like that, it's like, oh, somebody stole some eggs. They just put some fun into it. So they had a couple of little quirky statements that they whisked away. But this story, Nancy Pelosi, y'all, she's 84 years old. She filed paperwork to run again. They need to primary her. That's getting ridiculous. 84 years old. And then I just showed Jasmine Crockett, Representative Crockett out of Texas, and AOC out of New York. These two young ladies, they're up there fighting for their life, fighting for everybody. So this article, someone put an article out about the two of them. If it's not AOC or Jasmine Crockett level of speaking, I don't want it. Decorum and politeness won't save us. Rising above the chaos won't save us. We need fresh and innovative communicators, bravery and strategy. We also need those that have been around for a while to back people like AOC and Jasmine Crockett as they put themselves on the front line to fight for our democracy. I have to agree with that. I think 84 years old. I'm not going to call out Nancy Pelosi more than anyone else because the new president is 78 years old and he's not even in good shape. He's in terrible shape. Sylvia S., my sis, and one of my mods, is talking about Roxanne Shante. I saw her get the award also on a talk show. Roxanne. Yeah, she interviewed with Gail. She interviewed with Gail on the CBS News, or it might have been 60 Minutes before the Grammy showed. Capricorn Flower loves Roxanne too. I love me some Roxanne. She was only like 15 rapping back then. That movie is still on Netflix. It's her. Mahershala Ali plays in there, and she was one of the youngest rappers at the time. She was 14. She had a number one hit, and she went on tour. She signed contracts. I was just mentioning with my braces, and then Roxanne signing contract. She got robbed a lot, though. She got robbed. There's a reason why minors are not allowed to go into contracts. They get taken advantage of. Sharon Gobble said Nancy needs to sit all the way down. She does, and doesn't need the money at all. And I know people don't only do that job for the money. She may feel strongly, but I'd like to see her feel strongly from San Francisco and just try to coach more people, put more people on the bench, and let some of the younger ones speak up because they're going to be the ones cleaning up this mess. And sometimes she's not a clear enough speaker to me to be answering a lot of what we're going to have to do in the news now. I'd like to see more Jasmine, more AOC. I like Ayanna Pressley out of Massachusetts. There's quite a few people that could speak. Hakeem Jeffries, he's another one. He could be up there more. Okay, so I already told everyone that I'm going to be reviewing The Amazing Race. That's on CBS. And it is also, they'll show it on Paramount. So if anybody's interested in that, I'm going to be doing that. Oh, I have another news story. This is not a great one. This is about insulin. I mentioned that the other day. He's a 22-year-old Wisconsin man. He actually has passed away. He had an asthma attack. He could not fulfill his inhaler. The price of his inhaler skyrocketed from $66 to over $500. And his parents are suing pharmaceutical company. We had talked about that. We had talked about the insulin prices. They were capped at $35 under Biden Harris. And one of the first things the Orange Clown did was he undid that rule. And now a lot of medications have no limit again. So I think if someone walks into a pharmacy, that's not like he's trying to get drugs or anything like that. That's a life-saving piece of equipment that he needs for his life. So this young man, 22 years old, he's no longer here. His parents are suing that company. It also showed Walgreens. So Walgreens might be part of the case as well. Ooh, the first comment said, this is exactly why Luigi did what he did. And that hasn't been in the news. That has not been in the news since the election. Luigi, we know who he is. United Healthcare CEO. He took care of business with him. We haven't heard a thing. Someone else's medication should be free. Free Luigi. Okay, Biden put in an order that prescription drugs remain affordable. We just talked about that. Trump took it away on his third day in office, and I bet they voted for Trump. I wouldn't say that. We don't know how that young man and his family voted. And someone says, how is an inhaler not covered? I don't know. I don't know how an inhaler is not covered. We have a person in our family with severe allergies, and they have an EpiPen. We have to update it at the school's office. So it's important. Regina Phillips says that was sad. It was sad, Regina. That's somebody's life. Everyone who entered the chat, everyone who is in the bushes, I haven't spoke to yet. Good morning. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. I'm happy to see you. And I'm just going over some short little topics. There was another topic. When I went to bed last night, I think he was just in a coma, but I see this morning he has passed away. That is Irv Gotti. 54 years old, y'all. I mentioned a few weeks ago. So a lot of these brothers are barely making it to 50. So he made it to 54, and now he is out of here. Irv Gotti, the Murder Inc. CEO. And they showed Ja Rule. He did a lot of work with Ja Rule. Ashanti. Murder Inc. was out there for a while. So his family's receiving condolences from Ja Rule, Vita, Russell Simmons, The Game, many more mourn Irv Gotti's death. So he had a stroke, and that took him out of here. A lot of young men, I consider 50, 54, I consider that young. I just mentioned New Edition. Bobby Brown, had he stayed on his track, I'm glad he's still here. I don't know if he would still be here. He turned 56 yesterday. And then I've shared with everybody, I'm an NE for lifer. Myself, my sister, one of my nieces will be in Vegas next Wednesday night at their third residency. So they are going to be putting on another show. And guys, they are so good. They rework their shows because people say, how do you go see them all the time? You get a different show. Their catalog is so huge that there are some songs that they didn't showcase last time, they'll showcase this time. Then you'll get the standards that they'll do, like Candy Girl or things that everybody knows. If It Isn't Love, Can You Stand the Rain? Certain ones will be in constant rotation, but then they'll have what we used to call B-sides. Other tracks that maybe they didn't chart or they're older, they'll put those into the show as well. Last time we were at the show, we saw DJ Cassidy. And there was another guy, one of the guys from Wild 'N Out. I don't know who it was. It was my niece knew him. She went up and took a picture of him. But DJ Cassidy, and you know what? DJ Cassidy had a residency down the street at Planet Hollywood. And I think he called out, y'all. He was at the New Edition show, him and his girlfriend. I think it was his girlfriend. She might have just been working with him, but it was a cute girl. One of those Miami type girls. They had a crowd around them. He was speaking to everybody. He was stopping every few feet. People were taking pictures of him. But he's a cute little guy. He's gorgeous. Very flashy. He had his little hat on, the little bowler hat, and he had all his jewelry on. But there was an article that morning. It said that show, DJ Cassidy's show at Planet Hollywood, was canceled that night. And then we saw him at the New Edition concert. So I thought that was funny. I said, I wonder if he called in sick. Sharon Gobble, she loves New Edition too. That's a Gen X. That's our group. We love them. Jackson 5, all of them. Oh, Capricorn Flower, you went to see them when Whitney Houston passed? You know what? We went to a show and they announced it. Did you see the Greensboro, North Carolina show? We went to see them in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Whitney was either sick or maybe she just passed. But Bobby was there, and he had his oldest son with Alicia. And the little boy used to come on stage and dance. He's big. He's big now. My sister confirmed. You guys are NE for life. Yeah, we are. Oh, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. That probably was one of the closer days. She might have just been sick when she was in Greensboro. But they sent prayers up to her and all that kind of stuff. No, you know what? Whitney wasn't sick. That was sudden. That's right. There was a Grammy party. And that is when Whitney passed away. And there was a lot of speculation on what happened. You know, Clive Davis kept on with the party. She was in the hotel that everybody stays in, all the rich and famous stay in, Beverly Hills Hotel. And they were having a party. And Clive Davis, Whitney was up there. She had passed away. Bobby Chris had fallen out. It was terrible. They took her away in an ambulance. And Clive Davis kept on with the party. That's when we started to see how dirty the music industry is. I mean, we always knew, but we started to see like how terrible it was. So Nashville. Okay. Capricorn Flowers saw them in Nashville. Thank you, Linda Gamble. Linda Gamble says there's 17 likes and there were 12 in the chat. So I appreciate that. Also, the Bush dwellers that come in. Thank you so much. Sassy T from the 803. She calls the people, I think she calls them bush dwellers or bush campers or something like that. I think that's cute. Okay, so this is not until March 5th. I have some time. I'm going to come up with an outline and a way to be able to review the Amazing Race because there's so many teams, and I love it because it involves travel. They go all over the world. They start from a certain place and then they fly into another place. And sometimes they work together, different teams, or other times some of the teams will be loners. And then some of the teams will try to sabotage another team, which I don't like that. I don't think you can get ahead doing that, not long term, because you might need each other. Okay, here he is. Let me see. That's Bobby. I want to see if it'll show again. He has his own clothing line. That's the Bobby jacket. I want him to turn around so you can see the back again. He's showing his ring. They all love jewelry. Okay, let me go back. I'm not going to play it. Whitney call him. Look at the back of his jacket, y'all. That's his real body from when he was young. He put it on a jacket. Bobby can still dance though, y'all. He just got that gut. But Whitney called him the king of R&B. Remember when she named him that? One of our shows, BET, one of the BET shows. Regina Phillips said the industry is very, maybe wild, maybe something else. Regina Phillips has a lot of connections, y'all. I won't tell her business. Wicked and dirty. Yeah. Thank God I never signed any contract. I know. I never believed in people talk about blood sacrifices and all this. I never believed that, but that is an old story where they said Robert Johnson, the blues player, that he sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads. There's an old movie. Everybody who's Gen X, you remember the movie The Karate Kid? Ralph Macchio. He has a movie called The Crossroads or At the Crossroads, something like that, where he plays an instrument and he is traveling with this older man who is a blues singer and a guitar player, Joe Seneca, and he sells his soul to the devil at the crossroads for fame. So that's a rumor. But the way things go, we don't know whether that's true or not. We do not know. Another story I'm following up with. I first brought this up at our foursome. Sassy T from the 803, myself, Sandra Peace, Gen Extra, Tea Talk with your girl, and Drop the Tea. When we were in St. Thomas, we had our first. We were doing kind of like a sample of topics just to see how we would jive. Regina Phillips was in the live audience. Drop the Tea we were all going to sit at the same table because we had a center house that had enough room for everybody. So some ladies were on the couch. We had all set up at the center table, but the feedback was so bad, we had to quickly go somewhere else. So Tea Talk with your girl went to her house. I went upstairs in the same house. Sassy went upstairs to another room, and Drop the Tea was down in the main kitchen area because she was already set up there. Her ring light, everything. She's in her little pink bikini. She was so funny. But her live audience, they were screaming and laughing because she is so hilarious. She was really funny. But one of the topics, Wendy Williams, we were talking about that. And Wendy Williams' guardian will order a new mental evaluation for her because Wendy, they diagnosed her with dementia. Wendy denies having dementia, but we don't know if you have dementia, will you know that you have dementia? Because there are times when Wendy is lucid, she's clear, she's about her business. And then there are other times when she's on certain medication and even certain times of the day, like at night, they call sundowners, that could impact her. But they said her legal guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, is requesting a new mental health evaluation for the TV star after Wendy denied having dementia. The condition that led to her being placed in assisted living. So her recent interview she did with TMZ and The Breakfast Club, Wendy adamantly stated she does not have frontotemporal dementia, prompting Morrissey to inform the judge overseeing Wendy's case. And also, that lady, her guardian, is getting a lot of criticism. You remember I mentioned a movie on Netflix called I Care a Lot, and it was about guardianship, how those people were taking over people's assets and putting them in homes and having access to all of their belongings. And the movie was funny because they did that to a lady. They didn't know the lady. They would target people who looked like they had a lot of money, but they were living alone, maybe didn't have adult children in their life. And the lady that they ended up doing that to, she had a son and he's a gangster. It was that, I think his name is Peter Dinklage. He is a little person. He has a gorgeous face. He's a little person and he was a little gangster. And he started looking for his mother. He was a mama's boy. And he gave them ladies heck over taking his mother and putting her in a home. But anyway, Wendy is going to get a new evaluation. She has an attorney, Roberta Kaplan. She shared that Wendy no longer wishes to pursue a lawsuit against A&E regarding the Lifetime docuseries. That docuseries, I couldn't finish it. I didn't like the light that they showed Wendy in. And I used to not be able to stand Wendy. I still don't care for her. But Wendy has been right about a lot of things. And Wendy had made a lot of industry enemies as well. And so this happening to her, nobody deserves that, but it's just a lot of it is suspicious, especially with the medication that she's on. So she's dropping the lawsuit. It had previously been pursued for Wendy's benefit. She's dropping the lawsuit. To ensure transparency about Wendy's health, Morrissey believes it will be wise for Wendy to undergo a comprehensive new evaluation by a specialist. While Morrissey supports this step, she made it clear that they would not continue with the A&E lawsuit if Wendy's mental capacity is found to be sufficient. The evaluation could lead to the lawsuit being paused. Well, that would be good. That would be good. And I wonder if Wendy wants to go back to work, to her show, because they said she drinks a lot as well, and that is not helping with that medication she's on. Regina Phillips is confirming Dr. T is too funny. She is. She was part of the live audience. They was hollering and laughing because Dr. T is real small. And when she get excited, sometimes she'll stand up and be making her case, and it's so funny. She was reading somebody the other week, and she had to go off camera, and that was just, it was funny. Capricorn Flower says, I think she may be depressed. Somebody is just taking her money away. I think so too, Capricorn Flower. I think what we need to keep in mind, Wendy was going through a terrible divorce. Kevin Hunter had basically robbed her. He was using her money to support this other woman's outside child, because Wendy was still married to Kevin when Kevin did that. And Kevin bought the lady a house down the street from Wendy. So now Wendy knows about this. This man has a woman right on the same street as Wendy. Wendy's paying everybody's bill. And her son, Kevin Hunter, little Kevin was he's not even little Kevin. He's like 27, but he was raised as a privileged child, and he is not really able to manage Wendy's finances the way he should have been. And then the bank that actually rang the alarm, Wells Fargo, they've been in trouble for a lot of things. A lot of the banksters are very crooked, and they conspire against people to get their money. And that could be what was going on with Wendy. They were the first one to lock her accounts. Sylvia S. says, I agree and know for sure they are not in her best interest. I don't think they are either. Sylvia S. confirmed, I have 13 watching and 16 likes. Thank you so much. Sharon says, if they're not hiding anything, give her back her phone and visitors privileges. That's true. They should do that. And Sharon, they had mentioned that Wendy was upset, and I think she was going through depression because she lost her show. She had to divorce her husband. Her money was being stolen. They put a freeze on her money. And then she was saying that she hadn't been able to see her father in 3 years. I think they did just grant her the right to do that. And her father's 94 years old. So her father is limited as to how much time he's going to have left. So that was pretty terrible. That would depress anyone. So I hope Wendy's able to get her rights back. Good morning, Cynthia Christian. I hope you're doing well this morning. Welcome to the chat. Thank you so much. We have a lot of people that are dropped into the chat and say hello. I appreciate that. So I'm wishing Wendy gets her rights back. Because we remember with Brittany, when Brittany was being, I was going to say held by her father. I don't know that she was held, but he had a strict conservatorship that he was in charge of Brittany's everything, even her health. But he was saying she's too sick to do this. She's too sick to manage that. Whitney had a husband. Whitney is married to Sam, the guy that was on, well, he's still on Traitors. I'm reviewing Traitors. But Sam was more of like her valet. He wasn't able to really help her do anything. But Whitney had a Las Vegas residency. And some of her fans, they just started putting up posts like free Britney, free Britney. And it started out as just little whispers and it turned into a groundswell. And Whitney was able to return to court and get her father away from her finances and away from her management team as well. He was paying himself out of her money, whatever managers get, 20 or 30% or whatever he had negotiated on her behalf. Can you imagine? And she said her father, he relished being able to keep control of her like that. And then her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, he moved to Hawaii once the kids were of age. The kids turned like 18. He moved to Hawaii because Hawaii is one of the states where you can get child support up to like 20 something. So Brittany was going through it, but she finally got her freedom. And some people say she still might be a little mental, but I can imagine she's been world famous since she was 14 or 15 years old and now just trotted out here to work. And now she finally has her freedom in her 40s or so. So I can imagine. Good morning, Dot Willie. Thank you for dropping down in the chat. Dot Willie is speaking to everyone. Good morning, Cece. Thank you for stopping in. She's saying good morning to everyone, myself and everyone, to Linda Gamble, and everyone speaking back. We're just going over a few hot topics. I was letting the chat know that I'm going to be reviewing Ready to Love, and it's Ready to Love Philly. So that Philly's going to cut up. I already know that. They look like they have a lot of nice looking people, a lot of plain spoken people. So this is going to be a good season. And also I mentioned Amazing Race. Ready to Love, I believe, starts this week. I have to double check the date. And the Amazing Race, that's CBS, is Paramount. It doesn't start until, I think, March 5th. Okay, and then I was going to show, I talked about Jasmine Crockett and AOC because Jasmine Crockett is all over the news fighting back. I'm going to show a clip of her. Do something. He is doing. Okay, she's speaking up for everybody. She's a representative out of Texas. Okay. We have some sort of checks and balances, and he is doing everything that he can to get rid of those checks and balances. The DOJ and the people that he's going after were simply doing their jobs. The problem is that Americans thought that it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him the president of the United States, and then they want to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States, and if we don't wake up, we may not have a United States because right now he has only been successful in being a divider in chief. There's Jasmine Crockett, everyone. Very plain spoken. And we need to protect her at all costs because she's fearless. And you notice how the impact that she has on people, she's on one of the committees. She would just state in her case like she always does. And Nancy Mace, South Carolina representative, that was a few weeks ago, offered to take her outside. Let's take it outside. Jasmine let her know, you don't want to take it outside. Then the lady jumped up and lied. I didn't mean that. We want further conversation. But they were already having conversations. So why are you inviting this young lady outside? But Jasmine Crockett, I brought her up because Nancy Pelosi, y'all, she's filed paperwork to run again. She's 84 now. She's 84. This is her 21st term out of 2-year terms. Nancy Pelosi is running again. And I was saying that we need to hear more from Jasmine Crockett, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. She's a New York representative. Ayanna Pressley out of Massachusetts. Because some of these people are they need to move along. Okay, a few people are going to be watching Ready to Love. Cynthia Christian likes Ready to Love. Okay, so we'll be here reviewing that. Sharon Goppel, Ready to Love Philly should be good. I think it will be good. I think that's going to be really good. I talked about Irv Gotti, passed away at 54. He's the same age as me. You remember a few years ago, they would have Kevin Samuels. He grew a big YouTube channel having Black women call in, and he would just criticize them and tell them, you're too old for this and you hit the wall and all this kind of stuff. And now look at them. He didn't even make it until 50. I think, no, he might have been early 50s, Kevin Samuels. And they found him dead. This lady that called in, she actually called in and he had had a heart attack. And it was either a stranger or he had just met her or something like that. But a lot of these men on mics, they were talking really badly about black women in particular, especially women of a certain age. And now look at them dropping like flies. It's sad though. It's very sad. Thank you, Mama B. She said 40 minutes into a 1 hour live. Thank you so much. I'm doing pretty good. I used to start out, I would just ask for a half hour and I would try to go at least a half hour. And now I can look up and it'll be 45 minutes. So I'm getting a lot better. I appreciate it. What I try to do is have a few topics that I'm going to talk about, but I like to be off the cuff as well. So if I have people in the chat and they're putting in comments, I get to read comments and we just kind of spend a little bit of the morning together. So thank you for that. And this is this was an ongoing case, but this turned out well for them. This is T.I. and Tiny. They had to sue OMG Girls over those dolls that T.I. and Tiny, they have a daughter and they had her in a group and they would all be dressed as different, very distinct styles. Those of you that are Gen X, you might remember this cartoon called Jim. Jim is truly outrageous. And she would have like different color hair and all this kind of stuff. They did a movie on it. But T.I. and Tiny had an idea that they dressed the girls in the group up in different color hair, different ponytails, wild makeup, different clothes. And the next thing they know, a company came out, OMG Girls, and was selling those dolls. And it was clear that they had stolen this idea from T.I. and Tiny. So they sued them. And they won a $71 million lawsuit. So the company, of course, appealed. They appealed the lawsuit. And now a California judge just handed T.I. and Tiny a major legal victory. After previously considering slashing the $53.6 million punitive damages awarded to the former teen pop group, OMG Girls, Judge James Selna changed course. He left the entire $71 million judgment intact. So the court documents read, upon consideration of the evidence, the court grants disgorgement of profits of $17,872,000 under common law, misappropriation, and affirms the jury's award of punitive damages of $53,616,000. So the jury found that MGA Entertainment Inc., best known for its Bratz dolls, had misappropriated the name, meaning they stole it, misappropriated the name, likeness, and identity of OMG Girls, and infringed on the group's trade dress. So that's good. That worked out for them. Well, no matter what you think about T.I. and Tiny, T.I. and Tiny are always in a scandal too, y'all. Do you know what I think? I'll give one of my theories. I'm small enough. I'm a tiny channel. I don't think that anybody will bother me. Sharon Gobble said, I'm glad that they won the entire amount. I am too, Sharon Gobble, because a huge company like that, a huge toy company, thought they could just steal from someone and use their idea. And I think I bought Bratz dolls before. Little girls love those. But I knew that the group that Tiny and T.I.'s daughter were in, they are the ones that came up with that idea. So the company appealed, but now they're going to have to pay that money. And they got it. But my theory I was going to give you, the theory is T.I. and Tiny. You remember when Portia Williams and also Phaedra were fired or placed on pause over at Bravo for that rumor? I think, and Carlos King was involved in that as well, y'all, the producer from Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think that Portia and Phaedra maybe had the wrong couple, but kind of the right idea. You remember what they said about Portia, that somebody wanted to actually, they might have been placing something in her drink and then having her do something without her knowledge. I'm trying to speak in code because even though I'm not monetized, I got to get used to not saying certain things. So I think it might have been T.I. and Tiny that maybe someone heard that rumor about, because they've been in trouble for that too. They've been in trouble for those type actions. So I don't think it was Todd and Candy. I think Todd and Candy are freaky, but freaky within their marriage. So I think The reason why it rang true was because some of that may go down, especially in Atlanta, but it wasn't Candy and Todd. It might have been T.I. and Tiny, allegedly, and in my opinion, I don't know. I'm just speculating. Sylvia S says, yes, $53 million plus. I know that, right? They should get paid. Absolutely, they should get paid. I think I saw one more thing about Wendy. Oh, okay. This is new too. I'd heard about that, but I didn't know that that was true. Okay, so this is Wendy again. This is the Jasmine brand. Wendy Williams reportedly prohibited from giving interviews to the media amid conservatorship battle. So I wonder if it's just her or if everyone involved with the case, because they block her from further speaking to the media, according to TMZ. The longtime television host has been vocal in recent weeks about wanting to get out of her conservatorship she has been under for nearly 3 years. I didn't know it's been that long, 3 years. She also appears in TMZ Tubi documentary where she compares her apartment to a luxury prison. She said she's hardly allowed to go outside or have visitors and doesn't have access to the internet. Wendy Williams also said no one's able to call her. As she fights against her conservatorship, a judge granted Wendy Williams permission to travel to Miami for her father's 94th birthday. She'll be there for 2 days before she returns home. Oh, so that's good. So she is going to get to see her father. That's good. Hello said good afternoon because she used the team child and the other lady thought she called her a child. Oh yeah, we were talking about Jasmine Crockett. Hello. Welcome to the chat. Hello. Yeah, Jasmine's child. And then Nancy Mace jumped up. Call me no child. We're going to take this outside. She wasn't going to take anything outside. She didn't want any of Jasmine, outside or inside. Even when Jasmine just on the mic speaking, they get intimidated by her. So Wendy. Oh, Sharon Garbo agreed with my theory. Yeah. I thought that because it was so specific and so strange. It's like, okay, that could be something that's true. All right, I see a couple of lives that I want to jump in on. But I'm right at 51 minutes. So that 52 minutes. Thank you all for coming to the live. I appreciate that. I covered all my topics. And Capricorn Flower is speaking to everyone that has joined the chat. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Oh, I showed the t-shirt at the beginning. I didn't wear this yesterday because I had on my Octavia Butler because I'm rereading her book, Parable of the Sower. But this is one of my new edition shirts. We're going to be at their residency next Wednesday. I'm going to share some footage from that. I'm going to go live too. So we will be there. Bobby Brown turned 56 years old yesterday. So he's a Gen X legend. I'm going to start naming Gen X legends. He's one of them. So we love Bobby Brown. We're glad he is still here. A lot of our other brothers are not making it to that age. And Bobby has a wife. She's one of those fruit and nut girls, Alicia. She has some kind of health food program, something that she put him on, some kind of regiment. But he's not really a smoker or a drinker or any of the stuff that he used to do. He does have a line. Bobby can cook, y'all. He has a grilling line of like seasonings and stuff like that. But Alicia is like, she's one of these spacey type California women. He's lucky to have her. They have a whole second family with her. And his older children, I love the fact they're incorporated into the family as well. So his first daughter, LaPrincia, she just got married. There's a funny clip of Bobby crying his eyes out at the wedding. The whole table was laughing at him. He couldn't stop laughing. He couldn't stop. He was like crying, laughing, crying, and laughing. And it was funny because I know he thinks about all his losses and the fact that he's still here. So we love Bobby Brown over here. Oh, and also he lost Bobby Jr. and Bobby Chris. So that dawned on me. He lost Whitney. He's had a lot of tragedy in his life. But when I see him on stage with his brothers, they call each other the Fellas brothers, and they are. And it'll be all six. Everybody will be there, including Johnny Gill. So I'm looking forward to that. Regina is clapping. I hope we had a good live this morning. Thank you for the people that dropped in, and thank you for the people in the bushes. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Thankful Thursday. And I will see you in the YouTube streets. Bye.